That's Sam. I'm Chris. Boston, 4-game sweep of the New York Yankees on and ending with Sunday Night Baseball on the big show, which was a great game. A lot of play baseball kind of plays in that game. But I'm asking you because look, we pronounced the Red Sox as dead, or at least close to it. After this 4-game run, 4-game sweep, we've seen before seasons turn around off of series like this. Are they about to turn this thing around, or are they just are who they are and beat up on a bad team?
So I think they are what they are.
Okay.
Right. Like I don't think a result like that is going to change what your outlook is for the season.
Okay.
I still think that they are a deeply flawed baseball team that has serious deficiencies. They've seen a lot of things over the last month kind of turn over. Like Caleb Durbin's relatively turned an entire new leaf. He has a 153 WRC plus during this month, which is great.
Dude, he's been good. And his at bats have been so good.
Yeah, no, they're incredible, right? Like that is the player that we talked about 2 years ago when he got dealt for Devin Williams. Like this is kind of the full fruition of like the player that we thought he could be at the big league level. And Chris, like admittedly, this is the kind of series when you 4-game sweep your rival at home. That's the kind of thing that I think could turn your season around. However, the way that I look at it right now is for them specifically, you have a month. You have a month with this group. And if you're not good in a month, you have to sell a lot of your assets. Like Wilson Contreras has been unbelievable for them. You have to sell him if you're not in contention. And granted, the American League is unbelievably bad. So anybody has a shot.
That's what it makes me think. Okay, like if everybody in the AL is bad, we've seen it, and they think they're close, they might avoid selling, and we might be in like a gridlock. Nobody sells in the AL because we might have a lot of teams that think have an opportunity.
I had a conversation with Ryan about this yesterday, and I think that 4/5 of the league think they're good enough. Like everybody is so bad to the point where everybody's kind of good, right? Like, and I think the complaint has been talked about a lot with the American League and how bad the American League has been this year. The National League is not too much different.
If you look at just the standings alone, and like if you go on ESPN or whatever, and you just look, you see a lot of red negatives for run differential. You see
literally. I mean, in the American League, it's all but 3 teams, right?
Yeah, in the AL, it's all but 3 teams. In the NL, I mean, the entire West outside the Dodgers is negative run differential. Now you do have everybody positive except for the Mets, who are negative 45 in the NL East. Yeah. And I guess the Central's more competitive. So yeah, I mean, like the NL is significantly better than the AL right now, but the AL is horrible. You just have Seattle's plus, Chicago's plus, and Tampa Bay and the Yankees are plus. Everybody else, you just see red.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. And I think the question goes to the Red Sox as well, because we see this kind of result and you're like, hey, like maybe this is a team that could step up, because I do think that there is talent on this roster. And I think, listen, the one thing that could change my mind in this conversation is if in a week Roman Anthony's back in their lineup. Hasn't played pretty much for the entirety of the season. He's dealing with a weird finger issue. Like, I don't even know what's going on over there. Obviously, the Garrett Crochet injury is a big blow for them. But I think if Roman Anthony's back in their lineup, say next week, I think I could be convinced. But can I ask about
Roman Anthony real quick?
Please.
Was the injury to the finger what led to the slow start, or was he just overhyped and going to underdeliver no matter what? Because look, like he's definitely a good bat to get back. Obviously, number 1 prospect, a year ago came in and popped off with over 3 WAR. But you kind of look, and I'll defer back to you and myself. You said, whoa, pump the brakes on Roman. I think he could be a good player, but I don't know if he's a player that you plug in and think, okay, like you're going to get back to at least like a 110 WRC plus player. Like that's not how I feel, unless you attribute the finger injury to that. Because let's face it, Sam, before he went out, he was disappointing.
Yeah, no, it was not great whatsoever. But the one thing that I will point to, Chris, is so the conversation that we had in the offseason was somebody tweeted about it. It was like, well, if Roman Anthony is a 130 WRC plus player with a 4 F4, is that disappointing? And the answer to their question, like the way that they answered it, was, yes, that's disappointing. I'm saying, what are you talking about? You take that on any baseball team and you're perfectly okay. I think it's a mix of both. Okay. I think that slotting in a player after a 70-game sample, where granted, he was incredible for the Red Sox last year.
Unbelievable.
And tapping him up to be better than a guy like Juan Soto was a little ridiculous. We can look at that in hindsight and then recognize that fact. However, the finger thing 100% played into the issue. Because let's think about it, Chris. what happened before the year? We watched the WBC. Roman Anthony played for Team USA in the WBC.
Bingo.
And Roman Anthony was awesome for Team USA in the WBC. Like, he looked great in that tournament. So I think then the finger issue pops up. He's not great. He obviously hasn't played for a really long time. However, at the same token, you cannot hype that guy up to be a 170 WRC plus 7 F4 player after a 70-game sample. Like, it could fall apart for him, and I need to see him healthy again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of there with you. I just don't know. I just don't know what Boston's going to give me over the course of the next like 2 or 3 weeks. I think we'll have a better idea then. And I think honestly, like the big oh no, we've really messed this up is if they don't trade Contreras, and then Roman Anthony doesn't come back and Crochet doesn't come back, and all of a sudden you're like a hollow cannon anyway. And it's like, oh my god, you opted to hold on to Contreras, who I think has a ton of value right now as a righty power bat, as a leader. I'm looking at Cleveland, and I like trade for him and pay him and give him a little bit of extension. So that's why I'm kind of pumping the brakes a little bit on Roman Anthony. Do you think that beating this Yankees team could be a little bit of a fool's gold? Because without Trent Grisham, who's been incredible for them, without Aaron Judge, who obviously, one of the 3 best players to touch a blade of grass in the last 3 decades, and without Giancarlo Stanton, who's been, in large part out for a little while. Do you think that like beating this team can maybe give us a false sense of hope because this Yankees team looks and feels so much different than they did before?
Yes, because the Yankees right now have unbelievable deficiencies, whether it's the injury stuff, whether it's their defensive miscues that occurred this weekend. They had 9 unearned runs. The Yankee starters took care of 9 unearned runs this weekend in Boston. If that defense shapes up for, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 unearned runs, maybe you're looking at a 2-2 split in that series. So with the amount of injuries that they're dealing with the way that Boone kind of lined them up this weekend really poorly and didn't really put them in a position to succeed, I think it might be a little bit of fool's gold. However, I do want to credit the Red Sox for a couple of things here. Sonny Gray and Ranger Suarez have been unbelievable.
They turned it around entirely.
That is the one thing that I got wrong this offseason was the Ranger Suarez contract I thought was going to be an absolute disgrace. He's been unbelievable this year with a 2.6 ERA. Sonny Gray took a no-hitter into the 8th inning last night against the Yankees lineup, which granted, a lot of injuries, a lot of problems. However, not an easy thing to do against professional hitters.
Still big leaguers.
And I think that there are bats in here that are awesome. Like, I think that Durbin's been awesome for the last month. We just got done talking about Contreras. I think that he's been awesome for them for the past month. So there are spots in here where I think that they are super talented, and I think their bullpen's really good too, Chris, that I just think they're missing just a little bit. And with that factor being in play, I don't think it's going to push them over the edge over the next month. So I do think it's a little bit of fool's gold. However, I do still think there is some talent on this roster.
Sam, this is our first podcast since Mendoza got fired. Just how hilariously bad have the Mets been, and how surprised are you with how long this took?
I mean, that's the question, right? Like it's I mean, when was this? June 24th? Did this happen? June 25th? Yeah. Like you and I were talking about this after the first 2 weeks of the sport. What are we talking about here? Like, he just now got fired. Like, I think it's bad on the Mets FO for keeping him in that position as long as he did. Right? Like the fact that he outlasted Cora by 2 months. It's unbelievable. Right? So like, and the Mets have been bad. Like, and we have harped on it to a T, but I think their biggest mismanagement this year might have been waiting to make this move now. Right? Because I think
Sam,
we've seen it.
It's too late. It's too late. It's like
it's way too late, right? So you know what the biggest example of it is? The team in their division, the Philadelphia Phillies, after a month, they were horrible. They said, you know what? Rob's got to go. This season, like this core right here, they have to win right now. We have to make a move. They bring in Dom Mattingly, and look where they're sitting. They're 3 games behind the Atlanta Braves for first place in the National League East. And a month ago, we were talking about the Braves winning 120 games and running away with the whole damn thing. And now the Phillies are right on their tail. And maybe if the Mets made this move a little bit earlier, maybe if they made it 2 months ago, we'd be talking about this team in a much different light. So I think it was a bad move by keeping him in this position for that long.
What it does, fire manager, is it can, if you're not out of it completely, A, create a spark, B, put people under a prove it microscope, and C, gives an opportunity for someone else to come in and maybe fix or right some wrongs. It's what we call painting
Yes.
the walls. Sam, there is no reason that Mendoza was the third guy to get fired if you consider the payroll and the roster he was given. This was
Yeah.
supposed to be a Mets team that competed for the NL. They did not. This was supposed to be a Mets team that you looked around and felt like, oh, wow, this is a dangerous lineup top to bottom. Oh, and we can pitch. Those two things are not true. This is supposed to be a Mets team that was at least better than the Nationals, and they are not. Like, that's what we're talking. That's what we're
And the
talking about.
Marlins.
We're talking about a minus 45 run differential, which is there with the Reds and the Rockies and the Giants as the worst in the NL. That cannot happen. The fact that he lasted this long is absolutely incredible. If you're Steve Cohen, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Point blank, period. You had all this money, and you want to be so quick to pay players, do this, that, and the third, and you let this happen while you watch the Phillies ascend into second place in the division. They have 47 wins. That's one less than the Yankees and Tampa Bay, and they were on life support. They made a move. They got it done. Hey, look, you can't fake baseball. You can't fake it. And the Mets have tried to fake it, and they have failed.
Worst team money could buy. Right?
Worst team money could buy.
It's worst team money could buy.
Just in baseball, not just in baseball, period. Any sport, worst team money
literally.
could buy.
Yeah, literally. Worst team money could buy. Like, it's unbelievable that, and like, I'll say it flat out. Steve Cohen's a fraud.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fraud. Like, I'm sorry. Like, in 2020, when you said, whoa, we're going to win a World Series in 5 years, would they make the postseason one time in 5 years?
One time.
Or twice. Sorry, twice. They got bounced in the wild card round against San Diego a couple years ago.
And then a year ago, they needed to win 2 games to make the playoffs and couldn't.
Correct.
So it's like Jimmy Haslam, bro. Like the money's
Yes.
cool, but you got to know how to run football.
It's fraudulent
for this one.
It's it's unbelievably fraudulent, and like, not making that move with Mendoza early enough is just like ridiculous. And I think that you're kind of looking around at the rest of the league. And listen, like, we just got done talking about, like, this sport, like everybody's kind of middling right now. Like, I told you at the top, like, I think four out of the 5 teams in Major League Baseball think that they're good enough to compete right now, right? The fact that the one team that is in that other 5th has a $350 million payroll and cannot bring themselves out of the cellar to be one of those middling teams is unbelievably embarrassing. Like, you can't even, there isn't even a question that the Mets are going to be sellers. There isn't even a question about it. It's automatic. We already know what's going to happen in the next month. So it's embarrassing.
And the timing of it, and not to get like too way big outside of the sport, but the Mets doing this in a time where the owners and the MLBPA are like negotiating, and it's about like, well, competitive balance, well, this, well, that. The players are going to point to the Mets and be like, no, buying a championship is, you can't just do that. Look at what the Mets are doing. And as
you guys can, they spend money and suck. Like, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. Why would you, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh,
and so for me, as someone who like grew up a Yankees fan, whenever someone be like, oh, you guys just bought your championships, it's like, well, the Mets are, if that's all it is, why haven't the Mets won a bunch?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, like these other teams are spending money and they're not winning. So, like, that's the other side of the coin too, right? And that's going to be a funny conversation during the labor negotiation. It's like, well, the Mets spend money, but they still suck. So, like, what are you going to do, right? So that is funny. I didn't even think about it that way. That, like, that's probably, I guarantee you, that's an active part of their conversations that they're having.
Damn, a million, a million percent.
They're in there like, yeah, like, so you guys want to put a cap on how much money we spend, but they have an infinite money glitch and they still can't win 60 games. Yeah. Like, it's nuts. So, worst team money can buy. They fired him way too late. And I also, something I want to bring up to you, I actually saw it on Twitter this morning. So, Eric Chavez, real controversial figure in the Mets space. He was their hitting coach for a long time. And I want to bring up something to you. I want to ask your opinion. I saw this on Twitter. So, he was on a podcast and he said that Juan Soto, in between their innings last season when Chavez was there, wouldn't hang out in the dugout. He would go to the clubhouse by himself and isolate himself. Instead of being with his teammates, he decided to go back to the clubhouse. What is your opinion on that?
Juan Soto is no longer interested in being the leader of a team, the heartbeat of a team, an example on a team.
Yeah.
He is proving to everybody he is the biggest example of hired gun. Juan Soto's job is to go out
Yes.
there and get hits. If you want to look to him for anything else other than getting hits, I'm sorry. We don't have the facilities for that big man. Now, the fact that it's just now coming out from Chavez, I think is really, really interesting, meaning that Steve Cohen did not want this kind of thing out. Now, am I
Correct.
surprised it's coming out? Yes. Am I surprised it happened? Not really. And to kind of add to it, dog, if I'm bad in baseball, when you boil it down at the end of your career, if you have a ring, a lot of the baseball stuff is you're remembered for is what does the back of your baseball card look like? And
Correct.
Juan Soto cares about what the back of Juan Soto's baseball card looks like. And I don't have to fake smile with Lindor. I don't have to, bump the chest of Jeff McNeil. I don't have to hang out with Pete Alonso. I'm gonna go hit and go to the clubhouse because at the end of the day, I don't like you guys. I came here for the money. I already have the ring for my legacy, and I'm already tapped as generational. I have the big moments, and I'm not having fun. What else it brings me to is the New York clubhouse culture and the leader that Aaron Judge is cannot be overstated.
No.
Because here we go. There was some rumored friction in San Diego. There was no friction at all with the Yankees, and if there was, it never came out. Now people were like,
Nope.
well, Aaron didn't call him afterwards. Maybe Aaron felt like he babysat him for long enough, kept the clubhouse together, and decided, look, I recruited Juan Soto for 162 games. If he wants to go elsewhere, that's on him. Then he goes to the Mets, and it's rubbing the wrong way, not happening. There's been two good, ever since he left Washington as a young generational player, there's been one stop that's been healthy, clean, and he's been dynamic, and that has been with the New York Yankees.
Yeah, and I think that it's a talking point that I don't think gets as much attention is that in a span of a 2 to 3 year stretch, he played for 4 teams. So like Washington, San Diego, New York, and then the Mets, and that's just in a span of 2 years.
Yeah,
like just jumping. Like you compare it to like modern day NBA ring chasing, right? But it felt really odd that he was just kind of hopping from place to place. It didn't really seem like he fit anywhere.
Superstars don't get traded this much. Like in the NBA, if you are like an upcoming young superstar, you don't get traded because there's a salary cap.
Yeah,
and we're all rev sharing. But in baseball, we're going to move you a bunch because we got to make sure we recoup something because we can't pay.
It feels like the shortened Kevin Durant timeline.
Bingo.
Right. So like it feels like the shortened Kevin Durant timeline, right? So I think he doesn't care. And and not to say that I don't think he doesn't care about baseball. I don't think he cares about the Mets.
Bingo.
So I think that he is fine making his money. I think that he cares about how well he hits, what his numbers look like, how he is perceived by the media, what the back of his baseball card looks like. I do not think that he cares where the Mets are in the standings every year because if you're him, you did everything already. Like you're done.
That's what I was going to say, dude.
I know. And you did everything.
So
the only thing you didn't get is the MVP.
Bingo.
Right. But like I think that will come for him at some point in time. Like I think that he will put together a season. Like even this year, he's been unbelievable this year, right? But I think he'll put it together at one point in time and he'll win an MVP. But I don't think he gives a shit about winning. Not anymore. He already did it all, man.
And that's what I told you. He's worked backwards.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you work backwards. And this is going to sound insane to say, and people are going to disagree unless you really attack it with nuance. Before age 30, Juan Soto's legacy already cemented.
Correct.
Already cemented.
Correct.
Clutch. I got that. Can hit the 40 bombs. I got that. Generational eye. Fun baseball player. And then $765 million. Legacy cemented. I've won a World Series. I've played for the New York Yankees.
Postseason riser. Yeah.
Yeah. Like his legacy is cemented. Juan Soto could retire today. And when someone writes about him on the back of a card, back of a legacy card, it will look the exact same now as it does in 10 years. Now, is that all because he did everything early? Yeah, but the other part of it is he's not at a place that he's going to have more legacy jaw-dropping moments. It's over.
You know what it is, Chris, too?
So
you know what the WAR threshold for getting into the Hall? It's like if you have like X amount of WAR
Yeah,
you're like
are you B
deemed
Ward? Are
good
you
enough.
are you a 50 believer?
I am a 50 believer.
Okay.
So I'm a 50 believer, but I also think that like there are certain players with certain positions that it can kind of get weird
Yeah,
to the point where like
I'm 50 war baseline, but benchmark exceptions. I think if you
like
hit 500 home runs, Hall of Fame you. I don't
yeah,
care.
like first basemen or DHs like are not accumulating that high of WAR totals. Like I think like Giancarlo Stanton, I think will hit 500, but he's not going to hit that WAR threshold whatsoever. But I
Yeah,
think that
so
he'll get in because of the 500
the
club.
yeah, that's the
Right.
exception.
Yes. So if Juan Soto retired today, he'd be at 45 career WAR.
Jeez, oh Pete.
So
Yeah.
he would be at 45 career WAR. So if Soto plays one more year, right, and he's like, you know what, I'm done. Whatever. He's a
Mhm.
Hall of Famer. Like we're already in the Hall of Fame. And we have what, 13 years left on this absolute mega deal, right?
Yeah.
I don't think, and this is, I don't remember if I said this to you or if I said this to Ryan, but I think the Mets are not good right now. And I don't know if the Mets are going to be good over the next 3 years.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's going to happen because you have to tear it down again.
Mhm.
We're going to tear it down again. We're going to hope that our young core is good again. We're going to bring in more free agents again. We're going to spend $1 billion again. Do we really want to do this again?
And also, like, it's not like their young core has been that impressive.
They've been bad.
Like,
They've
no
been
one
bad.
struggled. Like Carson Bench is there at times, the moments. Jonah Tong, no one knows when we're ever going to see him again. Like all these guys that were talked up as like kind of next up. Do you really want to your point? Do you really want to do that again?
Vientos, Ronnie Mauricio, Brett Beatty,
Yeah.
Alvarez can never play. Like and that was their like heralded crop of prospects a couple years ago, right? And I think that it's funny. Somebody made a comparison in our comment section last night that said Oswaldo Cabrera is Smiley Mark Vientos.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just the same player. Like they're just not good whatsoever. But Oswaldo Cabrera saw us just smile on his face. like these are not good ball players. Like they're not proven at the major league level. And I take it back to when Soto signed there. It was, well, I love our future. I love our core. I think our prospects are great. Okay, sure, dude. Got it.
The lie detector test
sure,
determined that was a lie.
My Lord. You know what's a fun one that I actually saw on Twitter today? What if they send Bichette back to Toronto?
They should. Send him back.
They should send him back to Toronto.
Return to sender.
Like, would Toronto eat that money, though, is kind of my question.
Absolutely not.
Are they going to eat that money? But he's been a lot better. He's been a lot better as of late. So, like, I'll give him a lot of credit for that. However, it's still
like, where would you play him in Toronto? What position? Do you give him back that home at short?
I guess I give him back short. Because Clement could. But then they're not playing Jimenez. So like you go from like one of the best defenders in the sport at shortstop to just like the worst defender,
the absolute bottom of the
yeah. So it's like, so how do you? I don't know, man. Can you play? I don't know. Can you play like left field or something?
or do you put him at second and tell Ernie go run around in left field, right field?
Yeah, Chris, that's top vote getter in the American League.
Top vote getter.
Can we give him a little bit of respect here?
Yeah, we
okay. That's top vote getter, Ernie Clement at second base in the American League. Completely stupid, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, is that not just like the dumbest thing ever?
Dude, and it's funny because people are like, he hits 300, guys. Ernie Clement is not that.
No, like Ernie Clement is
he's the Temu version of Bryce Terang, man.
Okay, so here's for Jazz Chisholm Jr. struggles this year, right? He's been awful defensively. The bat comes and goes. It's really weird. He's been a more valuable player than Ernie Clement this year.
That is actually
isn't that ridiculous?
That's
a player that we're like, he sucks.
Yeah, dude.
Right. And then like your American League top vote getter is the guy that gets it. And he's been worse than him.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man.
I hate it. I hate the system. I hate the system so bad. It's so bad.
It's so horrible right now.
Oh my Lord.
Did we talk about the Phillies? Only 3 games back. I'm really thrilled for them. They're fun. Schwarber on pace to hit 60 home runs, but also break the strikeout record. Is this good or bad for young hitters to watch Schwarber do this?
It's horrible. It's so bad. It's like it's horrible, right? So like I think about I think about your siblings, and then I think about my siblings,
Mhm.
right? So like my little sister plays softball. I don't want her to turn on the television and see that Kyle Schwarber is going to break the strikeout record by 30, but he's going to hit 1,000,000 home runs. So
Yeah,
we should
dude.
all hit like Kyle Schwarber, right? So like when I was growing up, like my favorite player growing up was Derek Jeter, but I also like you wanted to model your game off of what he was because he was a contact first guy, on base machine,
200
like
hits.
bat to ball skill. Like that was the kind of player that you wanted to be growing up, right? The game today is so three true outcome based to the point where your Schwarbers, your Joey Gallos, like they get a lot of shine because of the amount of home runs that they hit. I think for young hitters, it's horrible.
Horrible for young hitters. But for the
It's
MLB
horrible.
over a long season, it's good.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. And they make enough happen. They make enough contact as a team and get on base enough to the point where like you can live with that. Like
You
I
can
think that
afford
that's
it, yeah.
okay for the Phillies. So, but for young hitters, absolutely not. Like this is horrible.
But it's fun to watch, man.
Yeah, it's so fun, right? So isn't he's gonna break the strikeout record by like 30 or something?
Yes,
Right? Like,
correct.
isn't he
The
like
current
on
record
pace?
is in the 220s, and he's on pace
It's
for
like
like 230,
250.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
It's unbelievably bad. I think it's fun, but like
Mhm.
horrible for the youth. Like,
Fun,
oh my
fun but
god.
bad.
Yeah.
Houston's still claiming they're not selling. Do you believe them? And who's more likely to sell, the Astros or the Rangers?
They will not sell. They will not sell
Houston won't sell.
because Houston will not sell. Here's why Houston will not sell is because they are so adamant on these things when they put their foots down.
Yeah,
I think about Kyle Tucker,
Mhm.
right? Like they could have the haul that they could have gotten back for Kyle Tucker is kind of the one thing that I'll point to. I'm like, you know what? Like, kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, and they have a history of doing this where, you know, like even when their old core started to go, as far as Correa when he left the first time, Bregman when he left, when Cole left, when Verlander left, they didn't trade these pieces away to extend their window and keep it going. They kept them on the roster because they're like, you know, like we're good. We're going to ride this out. We'll be fine. So they've already had a history of doing this. I think that Jim Crane wants to see if he can extend this winning window even further. And with as bad as the American League has been, that's the organization that I'm like, you know what? They will stick to their guns until they are at the end of the line. Like I think they could be 15 games under and they wouldn't sell. Texas, however, I think is in a unique scenario where they cannot hit. I think that they have really talented arms that have not lived up to their potential. So I think that in a month from now, we're going to be in a situation where I think Texas does end up selling. I think Houston stays packed, but I also think that there's a chance that Houston just straight up misses the playoffs, even if they don't sell. So I think Texas does. I don't think Houston does, but I think that they might still end up in the outside looking in regardless.
When is Sam Lucchini starting the free Bobby Witt chance?
I've already started them.
Okay, that's all.
You know me.
You can kill the man, not the idea.
Like you know me, right? Like I've been. That's. I'm gonna be honest. That is one of my favorite guys in the league to watch. I love Bobby. I love Bobby.
He's been kind of hurt, and him and not in that lineup makes the Royals like unwatchable.
Yeah. So here's the one thing, and here's how I feel about Mike Trout. Right. I think that Mike Trout is the most boring superstar we've ever seen. Right.
Okay.
But I also think that he's the most boring superstar we've ever seen because he's never really gotten the national attention that I think that he necessarily deserves, right? Because he played for an Angels team that was so bad for so long. You never saw him in the playoffs. They played one series, right? So I don't think that he ever really got the shine that he deserved from people that are outside of baseball. Mm-hmm. I think that baseball fans love Mike Trout. They thought he was awesome in his prime. But I don't think that from the outside media, people really care too much about him because it's kind of like, well, you play for a horrible team. Like it's like we're not watching you on the biggest stage. It's not going to happen. And I feel the exact same way about Bobby Witt Jr.
Okay, I am so glad you went there with it. I thought you were about to say I feel different. I feel like Bobby. I'm like, and what world are you living in? Like Bobby Witt does not transcend anything. So you're right. I was ready to just argue.
Oh no. Yeah. No. I'm like,
I was about to say, I was about to slow down, partner.
No. I was like, no, I'm right there. Like, I don't think Bobby gets the national recognition that he deserves because he plays in Kansas City, and it's for like a horrible team. And granted, like even Even the one time that he made the postseason, he was bad in the postseason.
It's horrible.
So it's like like he was really bad against the Yankees. Like I thought that there was a chance that they could have won that series if he got hit. And he was really bad that series, and he did not come through for them whatsoever. So, and for a team that, listen, I don't think they have a bright future. I think they have Jack Kaggs. I think Carter Jensen's okay. Outside of that, what do they have? What's there for them? In a really poor American League Central, this team is cooked.
Yeah.
Get him the hell out of there.
I am really excited about Jack Kaggs' breakout, though. He's hitting 265 with 14 home runs.
Dude, that's our dog, bro.
Yeah,
That is our dog.
Did you see his arm strength out there in right field, too?
Yes, dude. 100%
yes. Up to 98 miles per hour out there. Just like, hey, look, America could have had Ohtani, but we chose to shelf him.
One of my boys texted because like we were talking preseason, and he was like, "Yo, like, because I'm so like you're real into fantasy baseball. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm really not into it. Like I've never done it, right? So my boy's like, "Yo, who do you think's gonna break out?" Sir, Jack Kaggs. And my boy texted me the other day after he hit that like 470 bomb and was like, "Yo, Jack Kaggs is here." I'm like, "Hey, what'd I tell you? We're here. He's a dog, dude. Like that dude is legit, man. He's legit. But free Bob. Get him the hell out of here. Send him to like New York."
I always talk about it like I want him as a shortstop in New York City, and I think about how good that would be for baseball. As a Yankees fan, yeah, like for baseball, like Bobby Witt and Stripes would feed so many families. It would be disgusting.
100%.
Yeah, it would be ridiculous. Okay, when do you expect? Okay, wait. Real two things, quick. Is Cal Raleigh ever going to return to form, and is he going to hit 20 home runs this year?
Okay, so that's two questions. I have two different answers.
Go one at a time. I got to see the other one in there.
I have two different answers. So, will he ever return to form? No. The Baseball Savant page is disgusting. Like, it is blue. Mm-hmm. Blue. I'm blued out. Like bro. It is horrible. Like, but will he hit 20 home runs? The answer is yes. Chris, on the year, 33 hits for Cal Raleigh, hitting 182. 8 home runs. So we can get to 60 hits on the season, and we're right at 20 home runs. Like a third of them are home runs. Like, I think we're good, right? But, man, like, we're going to start asking questions about that year in a couple of years.
Well, dog, if this was the steroid era, people would be like, dang, this is one of the craziest roided out seasons ever. Like when you see a guy go 11, 12, 40.
Shout out
6, 4.
Shout out Luke. Shout out my dad. When he popped up last year, when Cal pops up last year, I was like, he roided out. He is roided out to the gills. How is he doing this? Like I've never seen. He was like, and listen, my dad watch ball through the steroid era.
Yeah.
And he was like, I've never seen a jump like this. I've never seen a jump like this. I'm like, you know what? Coming from you, it's big words, man. So I'm like, all right, listen.
I don't think he was roided out. I think it was just an unethical 50 or whatever.
Well, here is like the question that I have like about that too is him doing it in that stadium. Like that is not a hitter-friendly park whatsoever. No, I mean, like that's the one that shocked me the most about like when he was.
And look, and we're only asking this because of how bad this year has been.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at the Savant, like it is like so him and it's so funny, dude. So him and like Jose Caballero have like comparable baseball Savant pages,
which like, is gross to think about. Horrible to think about.
It's so bad. Like. Expected batting average in the first percentile, the X slug 32, average exit velo 29. If you like look at it last year compared to this year, it's a complete flip. It is an actual 180 from what last year was for him. So like, do I think he gets back? No. Like we're done. I think we're done. That sucks, man. It really does.
And then when do you expect to hear real smoke for Scooble trade partners? Like real, like, okay, these are the 3 teams that are offering, these are 2 teams that are circling, this is close to a deal, or do you think we won't hear till afterwards?
I think it'll be late. It will not be this week.
Okay.
Because you know what? Hey, listen. I don't know if you know what's going on tomorrow.
What's going on?
Are you aware of what's going on tomorrow?
What's tomorrow? It's tomorrow Scooble Day?
So he pitches tomorrow.
Okay.
Do you know who he pitches against?
Oh, he against New York.
But
Oh,
who?
is it Schlittler? Schlittler Scooble?
We get Schlittler
Wow.
Scooble tomorrow
Wow.
night, and it is going
Wow.
to be legendary.
Tryout number
So,
2.
so I, I think Scoobs. I think he shoves Tuesday, and we just don't get it this week, right? And because the Yankees lineup is just so bad, I don't have any faith in them doing shit right now against Eric Scooble. I think when it really will start to get hot, I think is at the All-Star break.
Okay.
I think that's when the noise will get real weird. Like he might make an All-Star team even though he missed so much time, and we're gonna start seeing the photos get released of him hanging out with Judge and him hanging out with Ben Rice and then him hanging out with Shohei, and it's oh, they're teammates in a month. Oh my god, this is crazy.
Imagine this duo post coming soon.
Exactly. It's like last year when I posted like Judge and Gino Suarez. And it was oh my God, look at them. They're in the All-Star promo together, right? So I think at the All-Star break is when it'll start to get real hot and we'll start to talk about it all the time. I don't really expect anything until then. I honestly don't expect anything until then from a lot of these organizations with these trade rumors. So I think post All-Star break is when we'll start to get hit with the trade stuff.
Real? It's a good show, Sam. Good 36 minutes. Fireside Baseball. Make sure you follow us on all socials. We're everywhere, and then we'll be back with you guys either Wednesday or Thursday, hopefully recapping a good Google start. I'm Chris. That's Sam. We'll talk to you guys. Bang. Good show.